So look, these basically are the anime shows that I found on YouTube. I call them YouTube anime shows because almost every show on here I've seen on YouTube. The only ones I haven't seen on YouTube is Castlevania and Hellsing. Matter of fact, I think I have seen a couple episodes of Hellsing Ultimate on YouTube because back when I was younger, when I was about probably like 12, they used to do this thing on YouTube where they would basically cut episodes in chunks. So it would be like, it would say something like Naruto episode 23 part 1. They would break them up in chunks and then they would usually be not even full screen, they'd be like half screen, and they would change the color of it and they would make the voices slower or make the audio slower to avoid copyright. But a couple of these anime shows, surprisingly, they didn't have to do all that for some reason. Like Kenichi, the mightiest hero, or whatever, the mightiest disciple. This show, they have like the full series on there. It's like, I think it's the first series because there's like multiple series of it, but like they have the whole full first series on there. It's like 25 episodes or 26 episodes. Ushio and Tora, they had the whole thing on there. Um, the one that's over on the left hand side, right? And then they had the Law of Yuiki or whatever. They have that still on there. And I also remember watching a little bit of Fairy Tale, and then of course, the Devil May Cry, the first anime is on there. And then D Gray Man, I didn't find on there. D Gray Man I watch on www.watchcartoon.com. And then Twin Star Exorcist is one that I'm watching right now because I heard of it so many times, and I just wanted to see if it was better than Blue Exorcist. And then of course I seen Dororo on YouTube, the whole series in one video. Well, no, it's two videos. It had like the first half, like the first like 12 episodes, and then the second it had like the. Well, actually no, it was the whole series. I'm tripping. It was the whole series. It was like 7 hours on there. And then you got Guardian of the Blades, and these, like I said, these are just some anime that I found on YouTube that I really enjoyed. Like Guardians of the Blade, I was watching that while I was working out when I lived with my mom. Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple, I remember watching that like 2-3 years ago. It's really, I don't know what it is, but I love like the vibe of it, even though it kind of looks generic. The vibe is pretty chill. And then the Law of Yuiki is like really fast pace for no reason. It feels like one of those kind of like for kids type shows, something like Sonic X or um, what's another one? The One Piece, for kids One Piece dub. It just feels super fast paced for no reason, but it's enjoyable. But it it's just one of those shows that's just so overly fast. And then Fairy Tale, of course. I remember it took me like 4 or 5 tries to even get into Fairy Tale because it was just, I don't know, it was just boring to me at first. And then for some reason, I think it was just the timing and it was the vibration I was on. I was just in a wanting to watch anime really bad type of mood, and I watched literally the whole thing. It's on my laptop. I really need to get a new charger for it to be able to go back and watch the rest of the episodes, but I think I had up to like episode like 300 on my laptop. And then Mara, I remember watching on Cartoon Network on, I believe it was on Toonami. Yeah, it was on Toonami. I remember watching that. And that's another one of those shows that people forget about. And then Eden Zero is one of the newer ones. I actually really like Eden Zero. I don't know what it is. It's generic. It's made by the same guy as Fairy Tail, but I really enjoy it. And I think it has to do with it being kind of like a space One Piece a little bit, because it's literally like there's like a crew. They're literally on a spaceship, and they go to different planets, and it just kind of it keeps my attention because of that. Because I'm one of those dudes who's obsessed with world building. It kind of reminds me of Super Mario Galaxy a little bit. Shout out to them for making that new movie. I can't wait to watch it when it comes out. And then Vampire Hunter D was also on YouTube. The whole movie was on YouTube. Sometimes I'm just in a horror mood. It is what it is. Um, Castlevania, of course. Most people watched it on Netflix. I watched it on www.cartoon.com. But all these shows are really good. Hellsing is good. The Dante show is hella chill, honestly. The Devil May Cry one, the very first Devil May Cry anime, super chill. The Law of Wiki, like I said, it's like super overly fast paced. Ushio and Tora was really good, kind of dark. But I used to watch that on my laptop too. But I literally have Fairy Tail, Ushio, and Toro on my laptop. But I need to get a new charger, like I said. And then D Gray Man was good, but D Gray Man has like this weird kind of, it's like gothic anime, kind of similar to like a Soul Eater type of anime. Honestly, I would put Vampire Hunter D in the same category. It's like kind of a gothic type. You might not like it if you're not into gothic type anime. And then I would say this too. I would say D Gray Man. It's kind of an acquired taste. Like it has a little bit of comedy, but it's more, like I said, it stays gothic throughout the whole show. But it does have some really good stories to it. Like I would highly recommend watching it. And then the Guardians of the Blade is very gory, and Dororo is pretty gory. So if you can't handle that, I wouldn't recommend that. And then, like I said, right now I'm watching Twin Star Exorcist, and honestly, it's been pretty good. All these shows on this list are really good. I mean, it is what it is. I personally enjoy all of them. I have noticed that there's this new thing now where people care about animation and stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, I just watch it. If I watch it and then I sit there and watch it and I start enjoying it, I'll enjoy it for what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of the people who's going to judge it based on animation. That's like some new young people stuff. Like, these like 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds, they're like, oh, I only like it if it has high animation, like JJK. I'm like, see, y'all new. Us 28 and over, bro, we watch what we watch, and then we see if we like it. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been that type. You know, I'll find something to like about it. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I have for right now. I don't want this video to be too long.